Okay, I'm back talking with my mom, Marlys Macy. Mom, there's one other thing I wanted to ask you about that I thought was a little bit unusual for our family, that you and Dad never really drank alcohol, or you both quit smoking.
Yeah, we just didn't.
I don't ever.
We saved our money.
Yes, right? Definitely.
That's why,
Yeah.
because it just was too costly and so foolish, and yes, we had to put our money in savings.
We always seemed that we would go to church on Sundays.
Oh
when we were
yes,
kids.
I made sure of that.
And,
We always took the kids to church with us.
I can't ever remember seeing you or Dad ever drunk.
No.
Ever.
No.
Just wasn't something that we did.
No, it wasn't something I really believed in, and never did. I wasn't raised that way either.
No, so that's good. There did seem to be a lot of alcoholism in that community, though, which is kind of typical for that
Well,
age
yes,
group.
they had a lot of, bars, taverns, and it seemed like the men would always go. Women
Not
didn't
much.
go to them. No,
Yeah.
but the men did.
Yeah, that's true. And you've already said that you thought that your kids got a pretty good education and things like that.
I think Wyoming had one of the best schools ever, because my kids really got a very good education in those schools. I was satisfied with the schools.
Now, did you participate in the board meetings and that at the school?
Well, the PTA I always brought things, to the PTA when they had that and things like that. But I always helped with Little League Baseball. I helped with that a lot.
One other thing I remember talking about the jobs that you had, you worked on the voting.
Yes, I did.
I don't know what they called it at the time. It was a volunteer. Did you get paid for that, or was it a volunteer?
I got paid.
Oh, you did?
They asked me to work on it, yes.
Okay.
I got paid for it, and they furnished our meal.
And they furnished.
Yes.
Now, do you remember, did they divide it out by Democrat and Republican? And so there's some from everyone?
Oh, yes, we had to do that.
Yeah.
They had to.
Okay, let's get back to that in just a minute. The other thing that I remember you doing, didn't you do the census?
Yes, I helped with the census too. Yep, I sure did.
So what did that involve?
Well, knocking on doors. I can't say I really cared for that. That was a lot of work.
Yeah, I remember you driving out to some ranches.
Yeah, it's hard work.
And you got to knock on the door, and how many people, you interviewed them, right? How many people live here?
Right.
All of that.
I didn't particularly care for that.
Yeah. That's done about every 10 years. It's still done today.
Oh, yes.
So it's an important part of how federal funding and that is done.
Right,
So. Back to the voting part of it. Today is about the same thing. So when they talk about voter fraud, what most of the people that are working in those election polls and all of that are election offices are volunteers for that period. They go through some training and then they get paid a little bit. But but once the election is over with, they go back to their normal life and their normal jobs.
Absolutely.
So do you think there was any fraud in the 2020 election?
No. There was no fraud. Not when I worked in the election board. I couldn't tell any fraud.
No.
No, there wasn't.
Do you think there was any in the 2020 election?
No.
No.
I don't.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Do you still vote all the time?
Well, right now, I don't know. No.
You don't vote in all, but you vote in the presidential elections?
Yeah, I have, but...
You've voted in most of them, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if I want to anymore, is what I'm trying to say.
Why?
Oh, I don't know. It's just not the same. It doesn't seem like.
So you think it's changed too much?
Oh, entirely. Yeah.
It's for the good or for work?
For the bad.
For the bad?
Bad.
Yeah. So you got a presidential election coming up this time. Do you think you're going to vote in that?
I doubt it.
No, you should vote in it. That's your civic duty. You got to vote.
We'll see.
Sometimes, did you read the article I wrote about two old skunks? And you got to choose between two bad decisions. You got to pick the one that stinks the least.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, that's another interview for today.
Okay.
So, thank you very much.